Someone bet $500,000 that Iran's supreme leader would die. 71 minutes before the news broke. The odds said 17%. They were right. But that is not the story. The story is what happens when the person placing the bet has the power to decide whether the outcome occurs, and what happens to a society that learns to bet on its own reality and starts wanting specific outcomes to win.
Yeah, Sandra, we just got this in literally 2 minutes ago, but Fox News can confirm that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead.
Polymarket. Bet on real events. Get paid if you are right. Wars, elections, deaths, celebrity engagements, sports, weather. In June 2026 alone, these platforms processed $44.8 billion in trades, not in a year, in a month. For the first time in history, you can open a position on whether a world leader dies before breakfast. You can bet on which country invades which. You can wager on whether a specific person will be arrested before a specific date, and the market opens before the news does. In 2022, regulators fined Polymarket $1.4 million and banned it from the United States. 4 years later, the company paid $112 million to acquire a licensed exchange. They did not ask for permission, they bought the door. January 2026, 13 bets, 7 days, all on the same outcome. Venezuela's leader removed from power.
Venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
U.S. Special Forces capture Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
$33,000 in, $409,000 out. The account belongs to United States Army Master Sergeant Gannon Van Dyke, a soldier who helped plan the operation he was betting on. He did not just know what was going to happen, he was part of the power structure making it happen. After the money came in, he panicked. He asked Polymarket to delete his account. Polymarket handed everything to federal investigators. The casino turned in the player.
Google engineer is accused of insider trading on the prediction
1 month
market.
later, Michelle Spagnuolo, 12 years at Google, information security engineer. According to U.S. prosecutors, he opened a Polymarket account under one name, Alpha Raccoon, 16 trades tied to Google's year in search markets. Prosecutors say he accessed an internal Google tool that displayed one line of red text at the top of every screen, Google Confidential. They allege he saw it every time, approximately $2.75 million wagered, more than $1.2 million in profit. Then investigators connected the account to him. Here's what changes everything about this case. The Polymarket community started talking about Alpha Raccoon long before the charges became public. Traders on Discord analyzed the account. The pattern looked impossible, too accurate, too consistent, too many winning trades. People kept asking the same question. How could anyone be this right? That is blockchain. Every trade is public. Every timestamp is permanent. Every wallet leaves a trail. Anyone with the right tools can reconstruct the story. Harvard Law estimated $143 million in profits came from traders who knew the outcome before the rest of the world. Van Dyke wasn't a mastermind. He was just an amateur who got caught. He's the visible glitch in a structural problem a law cannot yet see. Because this isn't about one soldier betting on a mission he helped plan. It's about what happens when that dynamic operates at scale. A senator receives a classified defense briefing. Before the vote, a massive position opens on the outcome. A central banker prepares an interest rate decision. Before the announcement, millions move onto the market. A corporate board approves an acquisition. Before the press release, someone in that room has a bet open. In none of these cases is the decision maker pulling the trigger. But in all of them, the power-shaping reality holds a financial stake in the result. That isn't insider trading. Insider trading is betting on an event that exists independently of you. This is creating the event because you have money on it. And on the blockchain, a position opened by a senator's advisor looks identical to a position opened by a retail trader. Same wallet, same transaction, same timestamp. The transparency that made Alpha Raccoon visible makes this invisible. But this is not only a story about power, it is a story about what happens to an entire society when reality becomes a financial instrument.
prediction market. Kalshi just out with some news right now. That is that Donald Trump Jr. is joining the company as an advisor. Here with us right now on set is Kalshi co-founder and CEO Tarak Mansour. Great to see you this
Thanks
morning.
for having me. Great seeing you.
In 2018, the Supreme Court legalized sports betting. Today, 60% of American adults gamble.
Points, getting blocks, grabbing boards.
Draining threes.
This guy gets it.
You drained a lot of playoff threes, Blake?
29, brother.
Huh. I guess anything can happen in the playoffs.
Did that feel a little insulting?
Yeah.
Be a part of the NBA playoffs with a profit boost every game day.
Average debt before seeking help, $27,500. That wasn't just a public health collapse, it was the training ground. A country desensitized to betting on Sunday football was ready to bet on elections, military strikes, and assassination odds. The product didn't create the market. The market was engineered over 8 years, and the hook relies on a simple psychological trap. Variable, interval, reinforcement. You don't know when the payout comes. You don't know if it ever will. That uncertainty triggers the highest dopamine spike the human brain can produce without drugs.
Gambling addiction is not a failure of will. It is a brain disorder which is preyed upon by the gambling industry.
Honestly, I can feel my heartbeat just rising, just looking at the damn thing.
Once you become addicted, it's very, very hard to stop because you've changed your brain. Addiction is a brain that has changed to become entrained to the desires of the gambling.
I've got £1,000 to spend. Can I spend it all on the first spin?
When Tony is doing his task, when he's looking at the roulette wheel and he's making a decision to bet, parts of the brain get turned on and then they can't stop. And we think there's probably a chemical basis to that. So that's what we're expecting to see, that the habit centers are overactivated in people with gambling compared with normal people like us.
Yo, listen up. We're BetMGM Casino, and when it comes to Vegas, no one's as Vegas as us. We got over 3,000 games like Big Bass Splash.
It's the code behind slot machines, it's the algorithm behind TikTok, and it's the engine driving Polymarket. 3 interfaces, 1 mechanical loop. A 2026 study in Science labeled prediction markets a public health threat. Not because of the money, but because of the design. When you sit at a slot machine, you know you're a gambler. When you open Polymarket, the interface tells you you're an analyst. The brain gets the same hit, but the illusion gives you permission to stay. And the media machine turned that illusion into an industry. CNN, CNBC, the Wall Street Journal. The world's biggest news outlets don't just report market odds, they're financially partnered with them. When the Wall Street Journal runs the headline, Polymarket sees 70% chance of US forces entering Iran, that isn't journalism. That's an ad for a commercial partner, disguised as breaking news. It's a closed loop. Media coverage drives trading volume. Trading volume generates platform fees. Platform fees fund the media deals. They aren't reporting on reality. They're manufacturing the volatility they trade on. Which brings us to the number this industry hides at all costs, 36%. The percentage of boys aged 11 to 17 who wagered money last year, not college students, kids. Casinos require you to be 21. Prediction markets set the barrier at 18. That 3-year gap isn't a legal technicality, it's a target demographic.
Dude, I gotta do a promo. Yo.
They ran promos with influencers skydiving
This is fucking crazy.
and pitched the platforms as a side hustle.
Rolling?
Yes, sir.
All right, I am 6,000 feet in the air right now, hanging from this hot air balloon to tell you that Polymarket is now live on the US App Store, and you can trade on literally anything, like how long I can hang on to this basket for.
You can't do that.
Or if my parachute will even open.
You cannot do that.
Well, you can trade on anything, news, sports, politics. Right now, best odds, biggest payments, lowest fees. Download Polymarket on the App Store. Did you get the shot?
Yeah.
Why? Because an adolescent brain hasn't finished building impulse control. The reward system is wide open, with zero defensive architecture. When regulators forced Kalshi to restrict miners, they didn't block them. They let them observe the markets for educational purposes.
Hey Dan, have you heard of Kalshi?
Yeah, the prediction market that lets you trade anything from sports to alien sightings.
Alien sightings? When does that happen?
I knew it. We were probably right about the moon landing, too.
Hey, that's not true. We did that. You wasn't there, bro.
When a dealer can't sell you the product, they give you the habit for free.
Anyway.
Even Congress saw the danger. The Prediction Market Act of 2026 sought to ban the president, vice president, and lawmakers from trading. Think about that sentence. It's an official admission that political leaders holding financial bets on the events they trigger is a clear and present threat. When asked about prediction markets, the president summed it up in 4 words. The whole world has become a casino. A casino monetizes the illusion of control. A prediction market monetizes real information. And when the person holding that information also holds the power to shape the outcome, the market stops predicting the future. It starts dictating it. Which brings us back to those 71 minutes. At the start of this video, that number was just a statistic. Now, you know what it really means. Somewhere, right now, a trade is being placed 71 minutes ahead of news you haven't heard yet. The question isn't whether they know something you don't. The question is whether they have the power to force reality to match their bet. And whether the 11-year-old watching those odds update on his phone realizes the game was rigged before he even opened the app. Next BlackBox, Palantir. They didn't build a surveillance system. They built a trap you can never leave.